Hey guys, what's going on? Today is December 27th on a Sunday. We just had sort of like Christmas here, but I don't really celebrate this stuff. It's good for commercials. Yeah, I'm not religious, so I don't really do anything. Because maybe as a kid I celebrated a little bit because I didn't know what it is, but now, yeah, not really. Since I'm away, so my family's not around here anyway. But anyways, so today's topic is about the how do you say it? The pre-existence of coronavirus already in the United States prior to the outbreak in Wuhan, in China in December. So this academic research paper came from from the United States actually. That in summary, it says basically suggests that virus had existed, was present already prior to when it was identified in Wuhan. Damn, this is loud here. And let me give you like a little brief summary about this scientific paper. So they took blood samples of from 9 states. I think I can name a few: California, Wisconsin, Rhode Island, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Massachusetts. Oh god, that's a hard name. Yeah, it's about 9 states. So 7,389 samples. And out of these 7,389 samples, they found 106, was it 106? 102 samples that had the antibodies of the COVID-19 virus already. So that was these samples dates back to December last year, 2019, December 13 to January 17th. So the earliest samples were in California from December 13th that had the antibodies already in place, were detected. And yeah, we're talking about 102 samples that had antibodies. We're talking about 1.4% that had antibodies. So if we extrapolate to the population of California, that would be around 4.7 million people that had the coronavirus already. So the samples were from December 13, but if you include the incubation time plus the time when your body recovers and then creates these antibodies, we're talking about a month, the entire process. So we're looking at probably October 2019. So the virus was already present at that date and time. So I guess what they're saying is that had already existed, but in a milder version of this coronavirus, and it spreads around the world, and then it become more transmissive. Let's say, yeah, we had like the amount of coronavirus, like it was already present in the United States, and around October, it was already present actually in Europe as well. One of the, I think in Italy and Spain and France, because one of the from one of the German professors actually said the early strains came from Italy, and then it went around the world and then got more infectious, and then it was re-imported back to Europe from Wuhan, and then to the States, and then this is where we got right now. Now the German professor who actually said that got criticized and for saying this, because then the moderator like asked him like, oh, are you paid by the Chinese government to saying this? I can show you guys the clip actually. And then he said, no, why would I? I have no interest in it. I'm just telling you what really happened. You know, I don't have any incentive. I didn't buy any stocks and stuff. So he didn't. Yeah, he said it was kind of like jokingly saying like, I didn't buy any I didn't get any support from the Communist Party. I don't have any links to China and stuff. I'm just telling you from my research what happened. So it's really hard to tell people from a different side of the story, and people are so ingrained, so brainwashed by Western media, like constantly telling you false narratives and made up stories, and then it becomes at some point, if you're being told like 1,000 times, it becomes fact at some point. You know, it's like 1,000 wrongs against one right, so the 1,000 wrongs becomes right. You know, so it's kind of like the majority. You know, so another theory of what could happen, like now that we have the research papers saying that the virus already existed in October last year, 2019, there's a possibility that when the Wuhan, the military games happened, that was in last year in October as well. So I think there was like over 100 nations took part in this military games in Wuhan. So at that time, maybe it was imported to Wuhan, this virus, from the States or from Europe, and then from there it got spread around the world. They say it was from the seafood market and stuff, like, or like another theory is like from bats, you know, but Chinese people don't even eat bats, you know. It's a delicacy in Palau in the Philippines or in Indonesia, people eat this stuff, you know. But for most Western people, sadly, they can't even tell where Indonesia or China, Japan, where. I'm not kidding. I mean, growing up, Asia for them means like Japan for whatever reason. I don't know. They call everybody that look Asian Japanese. I have no idea. And I can totally imagine that these people, they have no idea where Asia, I mean, some of these people, they don't even know where their own country is located on the map. So you can imagine like China, they have no idea where China is, Wuhan. They just hear from Western media, and then they become all of a sudden they become like China expert by, you know, if you like constantly pound it with like all these like fake news, like on a daily basis, you know, maybe 20 times you read the news or watch TVs, like they keep telling you the same thing over and over again. So at some point they become experts. So I'm gonna put a bunch of links at the description, the link about the scientific research paper from the I think it's from the CDC. I mean, the blood samples were from Red Cross, and then I don't know. You have all the details. I'm sending you the link. I'm putting the link below the description, so you can read all about this. And then, yeah, I just want to say things about this, because you cannot find all this evidence like on Western media, so like they don't really show it, so you really need to dig into this information. It's really hard to find. I mean, I have all these links, and I wish like more people can spread this. It may be like minor, but it's really important, you know, when we get fed by the Western media. It's really a shame that we don't really get to get like proper news, you know, all this nonsense that we hear, Wuhan virus, and oh god, I guess it's very similar to the Spanish flu. You know, when it didn't really originate in Spain, but I think it was in Kansas in the States. So it should be called like American virus actually, according to the naming conventions, you know. Another thing is like what could have happened is that October last year, so there was an outbreak in the States. They say it was like the flu season, like you know, that a lot of people got infected, right? And even the mayor from New Jersey, he came out and said, I think it was last year November, he had this awful like flu, and he went to the doctor and then trying to figure out what the hell it was, you know. And he got sick for I don't have the time period, but it was really bad. And then yeah, they didn't know, the doctor didn't know what it was exactly, and sent him back home to recover. Yeah, then he came out on TV and saying all this, and then later on his blood samples revealed that he had last year, and it was like November, December, that he already has the antivirus prior to the first case that they have reported in the States. So that was in January. So he had his antibody actually prior to the first case. So he came out on TV and saying all that stuff, and now he got criticized. So much for freedom of speech in the States, you know. When you say something that's against the conventional narrative, that's like really bad. That's like real communist, you know. That's against freedom of speech, you know. So freedom of speech is only good when it's like for the Western part of the world, you know, when it's like benefits them, you know. If you criticize them, then it becomes like, yeah, not so good. So, and what could have happened is that they have detected the coronavirus in October already, but the thing is that they didn't want to reveal it. They just like, probably the government, the US government, probably like internally said, oh shit, we got something new here, you know, but let's wait and see what it does. Let's spread it around, and you know, we don't want to be the first to identify this virus, you know. Let's play this game, you know, this Cold War mentality, and let's hope it gets to China, to Russia, Iran, and if they announce it, the better for us. We can blame them, you know. China had no choice when it came to, you know, they had to announce it, to identify it, and then that's what they had in mind, actually, the government, the US government, saying, okay, that's it, we got them, now they have identified it, and we can blame them with all this theory with it came from bats, like that's like really bad, like Asian people, like Chinese people eating habits, and then another claim saying that it's from their biological labs that came out to spread around the world and stuff. So all kinds of theory, because now that China has officially identified and announced it, so they can use all kinds of methods to blame China, and that's their main goal. And now, I mean, still until today, I think they're trying to use this advantage at their advantage. I said this earlier already. The U.S. is the most powerful country still in the world. They can easily retract some of their military spending and spend a lot of money. They can just print money like out of thin air and then help their domestic problems. But then the thing is, like, why would they? They have no reason to, because the virus actually only affects the older population. So since, you know, the state is short of like social security, why not just let the older population just die? So it would be just like a win-win situation, right? Let the older population die, get rid of them, so you have one less of a burden to care about, you know. That's, I guess it's not very humane. They're not going to tell you this, but it's one way to do it, to eradicate like the older population. And now they have this excuse to blame China. It's a win-win situation, you know. They're not gonna do anything. I mean, the U.S. has so much money they can print. I mean, like they spend so much, like trillions in a war. They can easily retract like some of the budgets, and then or just print just money, just like they inject money into the stock market. You know, they can just like put the money out and then help like domestically and just contain the virus. I mean, if China can do it, the US, I'm sure, can do it too. But then the US and China, they run different systems, so it might not have anything to do with money. So it's the political system that works in China. Democracy, you can tell, in Europe and US, it's just a big mess. It doesn't work. So that's kind of like my theory. You know, what could have happened. You know, what the governments, what they are actually doing. You know, I mean, there's smart think tanks, you know, working at the State Department in the US. So anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up for today. So I hope you can at least you can copy and paste the link to other people to know about this research paper. Okay, peace out, guys.